Hello everyone, Mike here, and it's time for more attempts to bring some positivity to the internet wrestling world. And today, we're going to talk about things I like about Smackdown. And we're going to start with Santos Escobar. Now, I talked a little bit about my introduction to him in my NXT video. I discovered him during the tail end of the feud between Legado del Fantasma and Tony D'Angelo's family. And for that reason, I've always felt that Santos was a better heel. Not to say that he isn't a good babyface. I've seen, clips of him interacting with fans and clips of him, just playing babyface. And he was a fine babyface. But I think he's a better heel. I think, and especially now him playing that kind of bitter heel, angry that he feels Ray betrayed him for Carlito. And he feels like he's kind of got that deluded thing of almost acting like he started the LWO and not that the LWO is a group that Ray had been a part of that he brought back. But now, of course, he's got Los Lotharios with him, and I'll be very interested to see where they go from here. The next one is probably the least surprising thing I'm going to bring up as far as things I like on SmackDown. And that is, of course, L.A. Knight. Yeah! Which, of course, you are obligated to do when you say his name. I remember my introduction to him was when he was still Eli Drake in TNA. And I wasn't familiar with him at the time, but all I was hearing was that he was this Rock knockoff. I didn't watch a lot of TNA at the time, and to be honest, I still don't. But I remember hearing a lot about him. And then he came to the WWE, and I, at the time, wasn't watching NXT, but I would hear plenty about, LA Knight picking up steam, how awesome he is, how impressive he is. Then I saw him debut as Max Dupree, and I was like, wait, oh, that's an Eli Drake. I know who that is. Because, again, I hadn't watched. But thankfully, he got a chance to be himself and not do the Max Dupree gimmick for long. It was actually his first night on SmackDown as LA Knight that really drew me in. His in-ring work and just his charisma and mic skills. I'll be honest, I see the Rock comparisons, but I don't really see the Austin ones. I've never fully understood he's a mix of the Rock and Austin. I see the Rock comparisons, but I mean, Austin was just this, angry talking, redneck who was constantly flipping people off and, attacking people all the time. I don't see that in LA Knight. I definitely see the Rock comparisons, but yeah, I don't really get the comparisons to Austin. But yeah, LA Knight he's become one of the most popular parts of SmackDown, and with good reason. He may have lost a little bit of momentum after the Roman Reigns thing was done, but it's not like he's still not getting amazing responses from fans. He's still heavily loved. He's still selling merch like crazy. I think people that think that, oh, he's losing steam now, it's only because they're other things drawing attention, but I don't feel he's losing steam from those things. And I think that he's still got, a lot of upside. I know the rumor is he's going to be the one to take the U.S. title from Logan Paul. And I actually think that's a good idea. Start him there and build him up. A lot of people want him to be champion already. I think it's rushing it. Yeah, the guy's 40, but take it to still he's still a lot of wrestlers get their primes a little later. I think he'll be fine. Pretty Deadly. Admittedly, a lot of my like for Pretty Deadly is their theme song, which, to be honest, takes me back to one of my favorite old wrestling theme songs, All American Boys, but for the Rougeau brothers. And I do see some similarities there. The song is similar. There's a little bit of similarity in their personalities. Not a huge amount. It's not like something where you'd be like, oh, they're Rougeau brother ripoffs. No. But the thing that really also cemented it for me was the Elton Prince comeback story from his shoulder injury, and pushing the whole thing of him not even being able to walk, despite the fact that it was a shoulder injury, and just like treated like this miracle that he came back. That was pretty good, and that entertained me. That brought me in as a Pretty Deadly fan. The U.S. title tournament. By the time this comes out, of course, the tournament will have already concluded. At the time I'm recording this, we are down to the finals of Bobby Lashley and Kevin Owens. I don't know who's going to win that. If I had to guess, I'm assuming Kevin Owens. We'll find out if I was right or not. You guys will already know. This is similar to what I talked about with the Intercontinental title on my Raw video. I love that it feels important, that it's not just somebody coming in and saying, oh, I want a title shot, and automatically getting it. Looking at you, Logan Paul. I like when a title shot is earned, not just given. So I like that they're doing this tournament. And I like tournaments anyway. Tournaments are fun. So I'm liking where they're going with building the US title up with this tournament to make whoever challenges for it matter, because they had to earn their way there. Damage Control. I like almost every member of Damage Control. From, the story with Bailey kind of being pushed to the side by the rest of the group. And of course, Dakota, kind of sticking herself in there, with the Japanese portion of that group, which, ironically enough, originally the Japanese member was the minority. Now the Japanese portion of that faction is the majority of the group. Yeah, I like Io, although she's another, like I mentioned in the Raw video, I wish they'd do more with the title. She's won, all of her defenses. She's successfully kept the title, but they mostly just are throwing people at her. They're not building any kind of story with her. Most stories that lead to the championship are like, ooh, I'm upset with Damage Control. I'm upset with that group. Now let me fight the one member who's got the title. It's like, give her something that goes beyond just the group. Give her a title-based storyline that's just her. I mean, you can have a stable and still give an individual member something to do. Hey, look at Rhea. Yes, they're not building her opponents very well, but when she's doing women's title things, It's just women's title things. The Judgment Day is on the side at that point, and it's just about her and her title. But with Io, everything is Judgment Day. Or, excuse me, everything is Damage Control. And I feel that's making her title run look weak because it's just a side piece to the Damage Control story. They need to give Io her own stuff. And of course, Kairi. I was excited to see her come back because I remember I was a fan of her before she came to the WWE. So I was excited to see her then. I'm excited to see her back. Haven't been overly thrilled with her run since she came back. I think there's multiple factors that could be, wrong with it. Some of the booking has been great. She has come off a little disinterested at times. I'm really hoping that it's just getting back in the swing of things, I'd like to think. But yeah, I love Kairi. And yeah, there's one more member of Damage Control, but the thing is, I can't lump her in with Damage Control because it is my favorite wrestler currently going any company, and that's Asuka. I love Asuka. I got introduced to Asuka around 2010 when she was still Kana working in Japan, and this is a tough one because there's so many things I want to say, but I don't want to bog the entire video just with me praising Asuka. Her in-ring work, her character, a lot of what she does behind the scenes. If you don't follow her YouTube or her Twitter or Instagram, I highly recommend it. They are hilarious. She is so entertaining. And just everything about Asuka just works for me. From the look, the character, the in-ring work, the crazy Osaka dialected promos. Kind of wish the dialect wasn't quite so strong because I'm studying Japanese and it's really hard for me to listen with that dialect. It kind of makes it a little bit harder, but of course it doesn't help that she's screaming all the time. But yes, Asuka is peak for me as far as pro wrestling right now. Everything else is below Asuka in my eyes. But then this is just what I like about wrestling. So it's not like, this isn't one of those where it's like, oh, Asuka is the greatest. Everybody should see Asuka as the greatest. Why do you not see Asuka as the greatest? No. I love Asuka. I encourage other people to appreciate her as well. All right, so that's all I've got on this one. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe. That does a lot to help me out. And until next time.